Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs. Welcome to the Gundam Explained show. I'm your host, Adam Blue. Joining me is Steven of Midnight Hatter. Steven, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. I am cleaned up. I think I sent you a photo
Oh,
earlier
yeah.
of me covered in toddler vomit, which was awesome. I love that.
Classic dad stuff. And the picture is classic. Like, that's a picture 30 years from now. You guys are going to look at it and be like, classic.
Yeah, that's going in the wedding album for sure.
Oh,
Like her husband needs to see this is what you're in for if you
That's cool. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. But no, that's cool. Yeah, speaking of Steven, we had your show yesterday. A lot of fun there. As again, where we're like diving into a really cool topic I never even thought about before, but we were talking about really had to do with where's UC going. Really cool. If you guys haven't checked that out, check it out. But for today's show, near the end, we're actually gonna. So I had that video that came out recently, the Rigazzi Custom vs 20 mobile suits. And again, in the video, I said the reason I did this is because I was thinking, what's the mobile suit I really like, and then what do I put it up against to really get an understanding of how cool it is? Because I don't think your favorite mobile suit is the best mobile suit, right? Like that's at the end of the day, it's
unless
not what it is. It's
mine.
like, yeah, it's like
my
yours
my favorite mobile suit is the
is
best
the
mobile
best.
suit. Confirmed. Like that's not
But it's interesting because it's like you could say, well, my favorite's the unicorn. It's just so powerful. Like, and that's kind of like, okay, but the unicorn is kind of cool. But I think like with the Rigazzi Custom, it's like because of where and when it came out, I know that it's not going to be the best, against suits further along. But what this exercise does is really help me get an understanding of what that mobile suit's capable of, but also the mobile suits I put it up against. And the ones I did this time was for this video is pretty random. So later on today, I want us to kind of go through, we'll use chat too, and we'll benchmark like what are the suits throughout the main eras of UC that we would use to, test out another suit.
I think that's
Fun little
great,
thing.
man. Dude, honestly, and to bring it back to our conversation last night, you're gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna
Okay.
bring up pro wrestling again.
Oh, no, do it.
No, so one of the things Vince McMahon used to say is he would have wrestlers wrestle against Sean Waltman, who went by a lot of different names. It was like 1, 2, 3 Kid, X-Pac, Six. He had a lot of different names,
Mhm.
but Sean Waltman was the benchmark that he would put new
Oh,
wrestlers against to determine whether or not they could hack it in the WWF. Was like
oh, that's pretty neat.
he was like this guy because Sean Waltman wasn't anything super spectacular, charismatic, fast, like acrobatic, that type of wrestler, but he was like, if you can get a good match with Sean Waltman, you have a future here at this
Okay,
company.
that's interesting.
So
That all the
again, I'm
technical
just I'm
parts.
bringing it all. Oh, it's always about
Back to wrestling. That's what I see all the time with when I'm watching YouTube videos of different podcasters and stuff. It always goes back to that, so I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, again, the benchmark. I think that's really cool. And then learning about the other mobile suits too by doing the benchmark. What weapons are they using? What tactics are they using? It's cool information I can use in life later, sometime. But
I'm
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah. No, also, we'll talk the Hathaway trailer a little bit. I don't think there's too much to talk about, so we'll just bring it up briefly. And then I got to shout out the Otaku box, and we'll do it here in a second, but I'll just show you guys. For those that are just listening, you won't see it, but they got me this other box. They've been bugging me to open it, and I feel bad because I've been delaying. So we're going to do it here live, and I wanted to test
Ooh.
I wanted to test the chat because I changed the chat for it to be instant. Was it ultra low latency? So
Okay.
guys, type a 1 in chat after you hear me say this. I'm just curious to see how long it takes because what I want to do is when I'm unboxing these, if you go, okay, that's pretty quick, Ultronymous. If you guys in chat see what these different characters are, they're supposed to be from different anime. That's something I didn't know. So let me know. But we're going to do that in a second. It's going to be really quick, really quick. But what I wanted to start with, and again, this is going to be a quick little show and tell, is I got the new Gundam Universe Renewal RX-78 too. And it's really hard to kind of communicate the interesting differences from the previous release. So I've already recorded the video that will be up in the future. I just wanted to show that. But some other things real quick, because when I went to get it, it was actually at a store in the mall called Box Lunch that I've mentioned that they tend to have a lot of cool like SH figure arts and stuff like that. So not only did they have the renewal, but they had this Barbados, which the hand just fell off. But yeah, this Barbados, which I love the proportions and the way this looks. It kind of looks like a beefier Barbados, and it has the gold, beefing thing going on. Pretty impressive. But here's the thing that really impressed me, and it's the Shining Gundam, right? God Gundam, is that? But
Yeah.
it's almost like proportioned like a superhero action figure, kind of like almost the intention of what it was supposed to be. Whereas some of the Gundam Universe figures have more of a boxy interpretation, like a wider, boxier. They really gave this a slimmed sort of superhero look. And
I mean, look at those calves. Like
yeah,
that Gundam never missed a leg day in his life.
and it's funny. That's a funny joke because it was really probably done for stability, but it looks good here. Like the, I am like super shocked with the amount of detail they put in this and the way it works. So there'll be a review up for this as well. Those Gundam Universe figures will have a review. Anyway, those are just hitting shelves. So
That's awesome.
the other thing, and you know what? I was gonna do a transformation, but I don't think we'll have time because this is the Ashimar. Robot Spirits Ashimar. Something that I wanted really bad, and then it was selling out fast, but I ordered it from a GK Gundam kit, I think is the name of the website. And I was like, is this legit? They sure are.
Well,
So
it's here, so yeah, definitely.
yeah, I know. So video soon on this. This is like an exciting addition to have for my Zeta shelf. Like this is like it's filling out,
Well, to paraphrase William Golding, the infamous author of Lord of the Flies, shucks to your Ashimar. Uh, no, it's
Okay.
terrible, terrible library joke for you guys.
Hey,
But
that's
no,
what we need
there's a Lord of the Flies movie coming out soon, I believe, like a
Oh,
remake
really?
of the old Lord of the Flies. They make fun of the portly kid for having asthma, and they say "shucks to your asthmar." So I think I always
Oh,
remember that when I'm thinking about the Ashimar.
dude, that is a good one. That's pretty funny. But I did not hear about the remake, but I think it makes sense. I think we need a modern take on that subject. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of classic novels that are getting film treatments. So like obviously the Odyssey, or it is the
yeah,
Odyssey that
mhm,
that Christopher Nolan
Christopher
is
Nolan.
doing. There's Lord of the Flies, and then there's Animal Farm coming out as well. So
Oh,
a lot of
wow.
those classic books that you would have read in middle school, high school are
Are
now getting
getting
movies, which means you don't have to read them anymore.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
but yeah, in the meantime, yeah, I do want to see what that Ashimar looks like transformed, because specifically you showed that to me and I was like, is that the first robot spirits that has ever been packaged in mobile armor form?
Right. And when you said that, it made me think just in general, what are some other mobile armor robot spirits anyway? And I actually don't think there are other than, Big Zam, is in that territory. But it's just interesting, yeah, how it kept the box smaller, but it was still a big box because it's incredible that this stand that it's on was part of like I love it when stands are included with certain figurines
Yeah.
and stuff, and this one's really nice.
The Ashmar deserves it. And
Yeah,
the Ashmar is a big suit too, like there's
right,
that scene in Zeta where it's kind of towering over the Mark
exactly.
II.
So yeah, I'm excited when I get that transform, do the video, and compare it with the other Zeta from Robot Spirits. Yeah. All right, so guys, we're gonna do this really quick. We're gonna just really quickly do the Otaku box unboxing. Don't worry, we're not gonna spend too much time on it. I am kind of intrigued. I just
I'd
don't
like
want
to
to
spend
spend.
some time on it.
I don't want to spend too much Gundam time on it. But
No.
if
Well,
there
but
is
you never know. There could be Gundam characters in here that we
okay,
don't know about.
exactly. That's what I'm getting at. If there's any Gundam or video game related ones, let me know. But apparently, this isn't supposed to be anything. Okay, so we've got
You already
this.
pulled an ultra rare.
And see, I don't know. Special promo card though, Fenra. Don't know if that's from something. So just throwing that out there. We
Okay.
got
Fenra.
this sticker of a maid. Okay, I mean, that's cool. Okay, so and I think it's pretty cool that they come in these boxes. It's
Yeah.
almost like I wish with like the Gundam card game, there was like, because yeah, when you buy those starter packs, they come with it's a big flimsy cardboard box that you just throw away. But this is
That's premium.
nice. Yeah.
What does WCC stand for, by the way?
I think it's Waifu Card Club.
Fantastic.
There you go.
I love it.
Go. So, okay, I'm getting the pack open, but if you guys saw that first card and anyone in chat happens to know what that's based on, let me know. But here's the other ones. We've got Bloody Bride, Frostbite Nurse. Okay. We got Neon Jester. Okay. Now this is cool. Near Automata.
Right.
B2. Right, 2B. No, 2B.
Yeah.
It's 2A. Yeah. Wow, that's cool. They call this one Phantom Automata. That is pretty neat, actually.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, Pumpkin Rider. Nothing. 2B. Thank you, Ultranos. Yeah, okay. And then Raven Witch. I mean, the art's cool. Saint of Mischief. Okay, Serpent Mummy. Okay. All right. Vampire Oni. And Nocturne Maid. So pretty cool stuff, gotta admit.
So that's pretty cool. Like every single card is a holo card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is like just good quality stuff, and there actually is. Thanks, Stephen. Bring that a link in the description if you guys want to get this. But I'm all in on the video game one. So if anyone knows if any of them are from other video games, let me know. But it's cool. Yeah, that has a special thing, and I mean, I almost feel like, you know how there used to be those like monthly, what do you call them? And I'm gonna switch my screen real quick. You know those. We were just talking about them the other day.
Like loot boxes?
Loot boxes, exactly. But like, it's almost like that's what they're kind of going for here. But with the cards, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But that would be badass if other IPs would just do that. Have like a series of cards that would come out throughout the year and you could get them in special boxes.
That was, I have to say, when I stopped going to conventions was when I realized that like 2/3 of the booths at the convention were loot box booths. Right. So it was like you had a Rick and Morty booth where it's like, hey, for $30 you get this box that has a bunch of Rick and Morty merchandise in it. It's like you might get a mug and a t-shirt and a this. Like it's like that. It was really off-putting, you know, like everybody was carrying around these boxes that they had bought for overpriced, just random things, and it was kind of like,
no, I know what you mean. It's almost like, what was another example I was thinking? It's almost like, you know, the way the video game industry, where like a certain product becomes the main thing to jump into, and then you kind of, some people can use it in good ways. Like for instance, Gundam USA Gundam Store used to do that, and I paid for it. It was $23 a month, and it would be a kit and maybe nippers and some stickers, and I was like, for paying around $20 a month and I get a random kit and some stuff, I liked that. Like it made sense. But sometimes it's when it's just the random stuff, like here's a keychain and although it's like now I unofficially now like collect Castlevania keychains because all these collector's editions have these keychains.
And that's something that you and I talked about before, is like the all like the limited run games type like perks, right?
Yeah. And some of them could be cheap. Yeah, I want to shout out Josh Street 6819 said the Oni card looks like it is Shion from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. So that is pretty cool because again, I don't know some of these, and maybe I would, but I think they're drawn differently, obviously.
Right. Yeah. It reminds me of that Austin Powers sketch where it was like, "Oh, it's Godzilla." It's like, "Oh no, for legal reasons, we can't say that it's
Oh,
Godzilla.
yeah,
We should still run like it is Godzilla."
yeah, I
Oh,
remember that. That's a good series of movies, you know?
oh yeah.
Um, okay. So, but I think there was another thing. Oh yeah, and I'm not going to change my camera again, but just real quick, I wanted to show you guys the Zagok from Mobile Suit Ensemble. I posted this picture on the YouTube posts, and it came with effect parts to shoot the missiles. And it's just like at this size, this thing is like perfect. The perfect little thing to have on my desk that represents Gundam. Like, and the other thing is, this is like re-engineered compared to other Mobile Suit Ensembles. You know, this is a new release, so it's like they need to go back and redo, which they sometimes do. They'll go back and kind of re-engineer stuff. So
As well they should. It's the Zigak is one of those units in like the Gundam Versus series that I used to love because specifically because of the weapons that it had.
yeah,
Because it had the beam cannons on its arms, but then you had the missiles on the head, and just
yeah,
the animation of it like leaning forward and it would shoot these missiles out of its head, like
yeah,
it was such a unique. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of miss that compared to a modern game like GBO2 where everybody's just got beam rifle, machine gun, like
yeah.
all of the mobile suits kind of behave in the same way. Those old versus games, man, they had like such unique personalities to the mobile suits.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing about a Gundam game. Well, you know what's interesting? In GBO2, they had the special, and I think they still do it, scenarios where you would go do a quick match, but it would be you were given a specific mobile suit you can choose, and it was for a scenario. And the most fun I ever had on that was Jabro underneath. Well, it's supposed to be like the underground city. And I was the RX-78 too, and I went up against Sharzagak, another player, and we were battling. And I was like, "Wow, this is." And I felt like that was such a cool moment in GBO2, but they don't make that easy to recreate at any time. It's like,
No.
oh, they happen to have this scenario. Oh, I happen to be the RX-78 too. Again, there's so much gold to mine out of GBO2 that they could just use to get more players. Or it it's weird because they're just making enough money where it's like, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it's hard for me to sit here and say like, "Oh, they could be doing so much better," but then at the same time, it's like, "Well, they're the ones making the money, and I'm
Yeah,
playing the
yeah, I know.
game."
Okay, so I wanted to talk about something else. So this week, randomly, yesterday, just an hour before your show, they dropped the second trailer to Hathaway. Right? It was the second
Yeah.
one. Okay, and I sometimes when I see these trailers, I'm like, okay, reaction video, let's go. But I watched it and I was like, there's not really too much here to talk about. What I think this trailer did was it showed some cool new shots of mobile suits, which is always cool. Nothing necessarily new unless the is it the messer? I don't know if maybe there was a different type of messer, maybe. I'm not too sure.
I think it was like the naked type or something like that.
Oh, there's okay, cool. But what I think the trailer really focused on, and I mean, this might be a better idea to do anyway, is the relationship aspect, the soap opera-ness, it takes what's canon to Mobile Suit Gundam and these new types that have these very sensitive and their brain waves. There's that attraction that happens with new types, and the show is this movie, the series is about that, and that's kind of Hathaway's character, even from Char's Counterattack. Right. So yeah, it's like that sort of thing. But it's you see him, he's like battling himself for how much he lusts after this woman. And then I don't know how much, again, and this could be explained. I know people have seen them or read the books, but like why and how much is she involved? Do we find out later she was planted, or is it because they're both new types, they're that attracted to each other, she's finding out he's Mafty, and then they're, not, I don't know. Like, but what I'm trying to get at is this isn't going to be like the schlocky, fun, you know, action Gundam, which if you even look at Kukuru's Doan's Island, it wasn't also necessarily a schlocky, action-packed. Both of these Kukuru's Doan's Island and Hathaway have a lot of heart to the core of the story, which I think makes for a better critiqued at the end of the day, when you want to hold up like how responsible Sunrise is with the story of Gundam moving forward. Yesterday, yeah, on your show, we're talking about where does Gundam go from here. I think at least what they tend to do is respect the core of it, even if that means we're not getting all these crazy mobile suit battles all the time. You know,
Yeah, that's fair. I think the biggest difference between, say, something like Kukuru's Doan's Island and Hathaway is that Hathaway does focus more on the interpersonal relationships, and while Doan does have that because you have these kids and this family that are dependent on Doan to protect them, um, there's this mythology around Kukuru's Doan, and it one of the most, I think, at least from the remake movie that came out a couple years ago, the moment that stands out the most to me is when Doan steps up to rescue the white base crew, and the Southern Cross team starts to fight him, and he's got this like aura
yeah,
of this legendary soldier, which we hadn't seen any other character or any other Xeon pilot have that type of aura before Char. And so then when you have these Xeon soldiers saying like Kukuru Doan is here, like I'm gonna fight this guy, like, and then he just tears them to shreds using
yeah,
a beat up old Zaku. Yeah, and that whole fight scene is amazing.
yeah.
Um, I don't see anything quite like that in Hathaway. And I don't know how much of it. The thing is like in theory, it's not impossible for them to have those types of moments because we as an audience didn't know who Kukuru's Doan was before episode 15,
Right.
before the movie came out. And so like we already kind of have an idea of who Hathaway is. And so it's kind of interesting to me that there isn't that sort of moment where Federation soldiers are recognizing like, wait a second, this is Noah. Like this is Bright Noah's kid. Like
Yeah, that is an interesting aspect that you know, that I don't understand, especially with Kenneth's leg when,
yeah.
yeah, that is, but yeah, that's very interesting. And then I wonder if we are to read the novelization, if maybe there's a little more to that. I think I might read it maybe after I see the trilogy. I just, one, I don't like to read. Two, I kind of like how I've been following, Gundam. I really get into the animation, so and the canon of the animation, even though I like the side stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
Well, and Hathaway, as far as animation goes, Hathaway's one of like the longest running characters in the anime, right? Like he's in Zeta Gundam, he's in Char's Counterattack, he's in Hathaway now, like
Yeah, he spans a lot of yeah, that is
generations.
interesting. Eh, yeah, I wonder like how much Hathaway represents any of the Amuro and Char legacy. But I mean, it may be in terms of new type, but I think that kind of goes back to this point from yesterday was the through line in Gundam is more of the new type. Like we're talking about the Force and Star Wars. Like, what's the thing that makes the grounded sci-fi-ness its own unique thing? And that's the concept of the new type.
Yeah.
And the thing with F91 is they mention new types, but it's not like central. Like they could have cut out any time they mentioned new type out of F91, and it would have been the same movie.
I mean, they could have cut out any mention of the word Gundam and it would have still been F91.
Yeah, no, that's right. Just like G Savior didn't even use Gundam.
Right. No, and I mean, I'm being
Oh,
intentionally flippant
I
about
see what you're
being
saying. I
anti
get it now, 'cause
F91
people
guy.
like F91. I get it, Steven. I get it now.
But why are they so small?
Yeah.
Why are they so
Well,
small?
SNRI, okay, let me no. Um,
What is
yeah,
that, an
so
antidepressant? No.
well, but I'm wondering then if Hathaway really marks the end of maybe the UC stuff, or I don't know, but we still have this second movie, and then we have the third, which is going to be another 2-3 years later. Who knows? So,
Yeah, I mean, this UC Next 100 is actually gonna take 100 actual years to get
yes, that's pretty good. So, to be honest, I'm excited to watch Hathaway, but this trailer didn't really do anything for me.
I know.
It's
If it were
weird.
a cutscene, you'd be skipping it.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's true. It is kind of weird how excited, and again, I guess it goes back to what I was saying. How excited I am about Hathaway, but kind of not at the same time. But I think it's because this is more of a strong story, and yeah. So
And there's a lot from a technological perspective that I think can be appreciated. One of the things that you and I talked about last night before the show was like how the character animation almost looks like
oh
rotoscoped.
yeah,
Like it's not that the characters are animated in a realistic way, but their body movements and their language is very realistic, which is kind of
while you
cool.
mentioned still being anime, they're able
Whilst
to kind of
yeah,
do a
it's
good job of
still
blurring that
the
line.
same stylized
Yeah.
illustration.
Which the only thing lacking though is I think frames of animation where it's almost like a consistent low frame and not like a either high or more variable dynamic frame, because I think depending on the action there could be more frames or not, and we don't see that. With even just character movements. But yeah, that's kind
That's
of
one of
interesting.
the downsides, I think, of incorporating 3D animation into a 2D space. And I think we've talked about this before, where it's like if you don't have distinct keyframes where it's like you kind of hold on that moment for just an extra second longer than the frame before it, then
Right.
you end up with this like it's just too fluid, the motion. It's not quite it doesn't feel animated. It feels
And I
there's uncanny valley to it.
Right. And that's a good point, because I've seen where animators will, after they're going through their slides, they might go to one and then, okay, I'll add like maybe a few more frames here, and they'll kind of draw more to add more to that specific, like the smoke trails, that's real popular with missiles firing. It has the kind of cool, where sometimes it's like faster or slower. That it's a very
Oh
unique
yeah,
look.
the infamous Macross scene of
Yeah.
like
Which,
missiles.
by the way, if you guys didn't see it on Blue Gamer, I played the game. It came out this week. I think it's like $12 or less. It's called Missile Circus. And it's you would find it interesting. It's a roguelike, but done well, survival roguelike, where it's like you're watching the plane or the jet, but it's moving in 3D. Like, so think of almost tank
That's
controls
cool.
of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But but as you're doing it, you're being chased by missiles, so you're having to navigate in an interesting controls. Yeah, and then you just dodge right at the right time to get past the missiles. And then when I'm playing this,
That's
I'm like,
pretty
wait a
cool.
minute, this is what Gundam needs to keep doing. Find a genre that works, add a spin related to your IP to it, and they just
Yeah.
we'll see. Um, okay, so this is what I want to do next. Again, based on the video that came out this week, the Rigazzi Custom vs. 20 mobile suits, I was just a random collection of mobile suits, but I want us to go through Universal Century and kind of create a benchmark list of like, at any time, I will take a mobile suit that's cool and be like, okay, let's put it against these different suits in different eras. So, chat, please help out. We're going to kind of go in order. And just because I typed something down doesn't mean it has to be there. But my first thought is for sure the RX-78 too should be like something you benchmark it against. I was also thinking the Gelgoog, but Steven, do you have any other one-year war suits that should be part of this?
I mean, I do think prior to the RX-78, you should have a Zaku too,
Okay.
because that's like the staple, right?
That was
Um,
when, the one that really allowed Xeon to get that upper hand.
yeah,
And
because
Jameson.
that would be my only argument against including something like the GM, because the GM, I don't think the GM was almost a step backward from the RX-78.
Exactly. That's a really good way to put it. It's like, oh, a Zaku 2, here's a Gundam. Okay, but to mass produce this, we'll have to kind of minimize what it can do. And
Right.
okay, so would you still want to stick with Gelgoog, or what do you think? Maybe only two from.
Do we want to set any ground rules about like eras or anything like that? I don't know.
My thought is, and you brought up the grunt suit thing. I think one mainline suit and grunt suit. Like for instance, I would probably do Mark II and Zeta.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any other suit from Zeta that is in Zeta And we got to think of all the suits that appear. That's like, okay, this is a very interesting one that.
I
And
think
I don't know.
Zeta is an easy one to.
Ultronus is saying Rick
I,
Diaz.
yeah, the Rick Diaz would be a great one. Yeah, for sure. I think Zeta is an easy one to pick out suits not to pick because obviously, like the
Yeah.
Gaplant, the Hammurabi, those are very specialized mobile suits. They're not
Right.
like they have weaknesses to them.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Rick Diaz and the Hyzak, those are suits that while they're not super high performance, they are like staples of that era.
Representing that era. Okay. Now, would we also put the double Zeta? Yeah, we would put the double Zeta for sure.
Yeah, double Zeta.
Anything else from there? Oh wait, what was the one you said? Hyzak. Should we put the Hyzak on there? What do you think? Or is
I
that
don't know.
too? Maybe the Rick Diaz, because Rick Diaz would destroy a Hyzak.
It would
And
for sure.
and even with the Mark II and Zeta, it would be up in that area. Let's see. Double Zeta. Anything else in double Zeta? Do you think a Cubelay might be a good benchmark?
The Cubelay mass production type.
Okay.
So yeah, that because I think that one would be, you're kind of writing Haman out of the equation. It's like just Puru clones.
Yeah. Okay. Any other suits in double Zeta that stand out at all? Because really, it was almost like a best of.
It did
Greatest
seem
hits.
that way. The Bawu mass production type.
Okay. Okay, let's stick with those three, and then if we come back and want to move one or two, I do like
Yeah.
having something interesting like the Babu in there.
And so far we're doing good. We've got 3 per era.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're getting to, and then I guess along the way too, there is always, if we want to pull from Stardust memory, War in the Pocket.
Right.
But we get to Char's counterattack, and it's probably worth the new.
Now, as far as mass-produced suits, would you go Jagan or Gyaradoga?
That is a good question. Do we know if between the Jagan and Gyaradoga, if one's more powerful than the other? Oh, actually, chat's saying Jagan.
Chat's saying Jagan, and honestly, I agree with that because the
Okay.
Jagan outlasts everything, right? Like the Jagan
Right.
goes into F91.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. Okay, cool. New Gundam, Jagan. You know what? It's like I almost feel like we don't need to do the Sinanju, but we could do the Sinanju Stein, kind of linking narrative and unicorn. So,
That's
well,
a good
actually, let
one,
me
yeah.
first put unicorn, because I think we should put the unicorn on there, right? Or is that like? Because I'm trying to think of the unicorn would pretty much destroy anything.
Who would win in a fight between the unicorn and say like the Penelope?
Unicorn.
Really?
Yeah. I think because the unicorn has all the crazy abilities.
That's true. Yeah.
And
But missile
it's
funnels.
it's like not only the pilot, but the machine itself. And so with the Penelope, you get lane aim, and it's not like he doesn't seem to be perceived as a special type of new type that could do anything special with the Penelope that outperform unicorn. I don't know.
More like Ain Lame, am I right?
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. But also, I got to shout out to chat because they're saying unicorn it's too OP. Unicorn had to be locked up for a reason. JP Alex and Lucas Garrett are right. So it's almost like I almost feel like I don't necessarily need the unicorn on this list because it's almost like we would know. So
how about a compromise? The narrative.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's actually
because
a good
the
idea.
narrative is almost like a halfway between the new and the unicorn. Like
right, and it's still potentially you could almost say grunt-like in a way because it wasn't necessarily. It's weird because it was made. The pilot's not necessarily a new type. It's almost like forced new type. Stuff. But also it had all those different contraptions to attach to it. Yeah, that would be neat because then maybe in the when speaking on how they're battling, maybe the narrative might be in a certain using one of its packs, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, good. We got some more time on here because then we can go back and maybe fill some more stuff in. So we're getting up to late UC, Jagan's Side narrative, and I would put the Penelope and the Kasai because they're both interesting in their own ways.
Yeah.
Anything else from that time period? Yeah. If not, I would do.
So I'm almost halfway between. Oh, you're gonna do the F91.
I think so because I think I don't want to do too much of the later stuff, but I want to do F91 and Crossbone at least.
Okay, fair.
Just to see what like how that performance would be against something that late. So
would you do like a James Gunn or a
okay, so that's
or a
what
Gun
was the other
Easy?
one you said?
What's one?
James Gunn and what else?
The Gun Easy.
Oh, Gun Easy. That so yeah. Let me actually do Victory and Gun Easy because I really like the Gun Easy because that's a really cool grunt suit at a time period where the mobile suits would be pretty crazy. But
What does
actually,
that bring us to?
I forget. I think Victory and Cross, like either Crossbone happens before Victory or it goes into the same time period. I forget exactly.
I want to say Crossbones after Victory, but I am not entirely confident.
Okay.
All I know is that Seabook is in Crossbone.
Right. Exactly. Which is pretty badass. Oh, wait, what was the same before? Okay, so it is.
Okay.
Oh, Silver Bullet Suppressor.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Because it and even I wouldn't even necessarily consider that like a unicorn era. I would almost consider that a double Zeta era because it's basically a Dovin Wolf.
Dovin Wolf, yeah. It's okay. Well, then let's kind of go back. That's 20. Okay, do we want to maybe add some or take some away? Do we think?
Is there anything that you feel like is missing?
I almost feel like there is missing stuff. Like I want to say there's stuff that would be more important than, let's say, having the Victory. Just because by that time we know the Victory Gundam is gonna, I think the Gun Easy is a little more interesting.
Well, it's like I want to avoid having like gimmicky suits. So it's like as much as I love the Bawu, like, do we need another Transformer on the list?
That's a good point too. I think we could knock that out. So that gives us 2 others. Yeah, let's think. What are some really cool, and maybe something we're not thinking of? Like for instance, Toad's Ritter. What do you think? Is that too gimmicky, or do you think that's just a cool enough suit that is formed through eras? That's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, because it has like the Pale Rider lineage behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, you think so? I'll just put it for now.
Yeah. So one that I wanted to bring up that you actually did battle against with the Rigazi was the Jesta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think that the Jesta is a good like?
I do, just because they're kind of like special forces sort of suits where there was still a bunch of them, but they were like made to be very tactically badass. So yeah. Let me throw that in there. And then I wonder if it's worth like any sort of these, like the Rigazi custom, for instance. Is there like another suit that would have been or could have been, or something from Sentinel, like one of the Zeta types?
No, I can't think of anything from Sentinel in particular.
And maybe we're good. What were we gonna say?
Maybe do you think we need something from the O lineage, like either the Overon or the O?
Oh, I don't know.
Because we do have a Cubile in there.
Yeah, it's a very different suit compared to some of the others.
Yeah. Or do we have that type of mobile suit represented in the list already?
I see what you're saying. I'm not too familiar with a lot of it, but But yeah, that made me even think of some other like the Zamel, because you could even go as
Yeah.
far, like I wonder, yeah. You know,
Ooh,
let's keep it to this. I do like the different representation here.
yeah.
But I think as I think of it, I might, either pull things or might insert things that might be interesting. For instance, we might realize the GPO2 is a good suit to have in here because of how unique it is.
I mean, this could be a pretty Federation heavy list because now that I think about it, it's like we've got no Zazabi, we've got no Yacht Doga, no Gira Doga.
Yeah, so then that's some things I was thinking. Like for instance, the Toads Ritter is a mix of some stuff. The
Yeah.
Sinanju Stein, for instance, but even earlier on, I guess the Kublai,
The Cubelate is a good one. Yeah. Totus
that's
Ritter is a good one.
yeah,
Yeah, I think this is a good list.
yeah, because it's interesting. Once those scientists from Xeon, move to Anaheim, and then it's just whatever. It's like the suits are almost whatever, but it's almost like the Federation is favoring, or Anaheim favors the Federation.
They do start to, for sure.
Yeah, even okay, yeah. Jam Kill X was saying Slave Wraith, which is a good idea. Striker Custom, both are two of the various GM variants, which a GM variant might be a good idea. I might have to revisit adding a GM variant
I'd
on here.
almost go Blue Destiny.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, let me just put a little thing down here. for later.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, because that might be a good group to. Oh, and then you know what? Maybe for another time, this will be another topic to cover. Is maybe the top 20, if there is, and there probably is, like Saikamu or Brainwave interfacing mobile suits. That way, we could see, throughout those different type of Psycho suits, what would be the most powerful, and figure out if it has to do with the pilot or not. Because I wonder with every suit if it really does matter or not.
Now, out of curiosity, do you have another suit in mind already that you're going to put through these paces? Or
Well, yeah. So there's a couple, and I was almost thinking of trying to start with like an example one. But so what it would be is, since these are kind of suits we'd all expect, it's like, what's a cool suit that maybe people know about but don't really think about too much? And one of them would be like the Gundam EX. Like
Mhm.
that was from Requiem for Vengeance. I think it's badass. It's awesome. And yeah, it would probably get destroyed by everything later on, but maybe not with the agility on the ground, the 3 beam sabers. Maybe it can go up against a Jagan, that it would be interesting to see. And a lot of times what it is that there's mobile suits that are really efficient with speed. And it's really because of that. A lot of times they're going to outmaneuver. And it's sometimes just as basic as that, even if the other one has more firepower.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, and even think of in an atmosphere, what mobile suits would win against mobile suits that aren't good at being in the atmosphere, But then why would they be there in the first place unless it's some badass orbital launch mission or something? Okay, well, that is that. So yeah, I'm going to use this list to start creating pretty much like kind of go through, and I don't know, it's not going to be like all the time, but I'll be, comparing different suits. I'll probably ask the community to, like, what are some suits, that they,
You're gonna
think
start doing some
here.
animated videos of like the fantasy fist fights.
Yeah, yeah. See, it's like I like that, but I like the more specific tactics. What is used to actually do that?
I'm
The other
always
thing,
fascinated by like the inter-universe ones, like and this might just be my personal bias, but I'm like,
okay,
I really want to see the Zeta Gundam versus the aerial rebuild. I think that would be an
okay.
awesome matchup.
So that's a good point, because in the comments of the video, people were saying about doing AUs. And the only reason I wouldn't at first is because, well, how do you really benchmark? But I think you have to do it individually.
Yeah, you do have to take it on a case
Yeah.
by case basis because, like, you know, on the one hand, one of the advantages that a lot of mobile suits have against each other in Witch from Mercury is like the gun bits versus the antidote, right? Like
Yeah.
the suits from Dominicus like are able to disable the gun bits that the aerial has, right? At least before a certain permit score. But one of the benefits that the aerial has is that because all of the mobile suits in Witch from Mercury run on permit score technology, the whole reason that the aerial is able to win so many duels is because it's able to shut down her opponent's suits. So like
Mm,
my favorite example is always the Fair Act. Like
yeah.
the Fair Act was about to beat the aerial and then she shut it down and beat him that way. She can't do that with a UC mobile suit because they don't use permit scores.
That's why
So
that would be interesting.
it's like a level playing field. It reminds me of
Yeah.
like the Mortal Kombat versus DC universe where it's like, yeah, Superman is Superman, but Superman's powerless against Mortal Kombat magic. So it's like,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a really good idea, especially if we could say what pilot might be in each of the mobile suits because of how it then might interface or function with that mobile suit. Or maybe there could be some common ground trauma that the two pilots can talk about while they're having this battle.
absolutely,
That
man.
might be an interesting thing to add in. Okay, so something else I wanted to cover real quick. I put a little question up, asking everyone what was their favorite Gunpla of 2025. So
Mm.
if you haven't, there's a link in the description below for the Year in Gundam 2025. Just ask some questions, some of your favorite things of Gundam. We'll be talking about it on a stream here shortly. But in the meantime, I wanted to catch the vibe of favorite Gunpla this year. So we had T Spidey R saying the Gunpla is the MG Vidar, and then Plamo in general, the Sky Defender, and the Huang Di Ying Long. I did a good job just saying that off the tongue. But um,
It does
third
roll
party,
off the tongue.
yeah. But third party is the thing this year, and
Yeah.
we'll see that in the list down here. Jonas Hassan, a friend of both Gundam Explain and Blue Gamer, G-Quux for the Gundam Breaker 4. Oh, okay. I guess really into the G-Quuxes. Yeah, Gundam Breaker 4 added that as DLC, which was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Lo-Fi Sushi. Surprisingly, it's actually a bootleg. GBC Exia and Kurofune EZ8. Oh, that must be cool. Man, I bought HE Avalanche Exia from Bandai this year, but really felt lacking on the proportions. I didn't want to get another RG because I want something that feels more solid, simple, easy to work with, and have more space for custom detailing. Then GBC Exia was announced and released. So cheap, but so beautiful. Didn't regret buying it even a bit. Well, that's cool. Thanks for that detailed paragraph, actually.
That's good.
Okay, Angum 6717, The Mighty Strike Freedom. Now, was that a 2025 release?
It depends on which one.
Okay, because I do think a clear color one did come out this year, but I think the standard came out last year because I bought the standard last year.
I think he's just sucking up to you because how much he knows you love the Mighty
Oh, you're right.
Strike.
Okay, yep, you got me. All right, now we have Forza 786 with PG Unicorn for the 5th time. So, did a 5th PG Unicorn come out, or did he just build 5 every year? That's just his favorite. What, dude? If you have 5, you can send one to me. I'll review it, keep it nice. Okay. Okay, we've got Eric Romero Alvarez 9726, the real grade Wing Zero, the Proto Zero. That's
That's
actually
been a
cool.
really popular one, yeah.
Not only did that come out, but didn't also the entry grade, which I saw at Target and
Well,
didn't
the
pick it up.
entry grade's just the wing. I think the real grade was the Wing Zero.
Okay, and then there was the SD master grade of one of
Yeah.
the wings. And which one was that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I think it
So
was the
that's
Zero.
actually pretty cool if you're a wing fan. Wing fan to have like 3 wingsuits kind of come out in various degrees. Actually, that's actually pretty cool. I would build those. I don't know why I skipped on them. And then Dr. J. Meagle, Migle, 4108, Axis Kshatriya. So that must be either they customize a Kshatriya or there is a third party one. Or, oh, look at this. Yep.
The 1/100th scale Kshatriya.
Uh,
The aerial Dominator. please, if you will. Osiris
Axis
Imperium.
model work. Oh, so Axis is the name of the. I don't know. Wow. Okay, I remember hearing about this, but that's nuts, isn't it?
That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, more and more, especially with how popular 3D printing and how accessible 3D printing has gotten, you're going to see more and more third-party kits at this level of detail. And um, one of the things that I'm trying to do is bring the price down because
Yeah.
obviously this is priced way outside of what you would pay for a Bandai one. So for anybody who complains about P Bandai, go shop third party is my suggestion,
But
because it's
that's
like
interesting.
a P Bandai 1
Hold
100th scale Kshatriya would be what, maybe 120 tops?
Hold up, because that reminded me, USA Gundam Store is where I ended up buying the black dragon because it was only 30 bucks, and USA Gundam Store had it
Ah,
for like 50. So on AliExpress, you could get this Kshatriya for 161. Still expensive, but I think that's a lot more manageable.
that is a
Um,
lot more in line with what I think Bandai would actually charge if they
yeah.
made it.
So that I'm telling you, AliExpress is legit. I mean, you've used it before. If you know you're getting something that's not legit, it's legit. It's a not legit thing, you know?
Yeah, it's 100% unlegit.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, let's see, I've got a few of the AliExpress kits here. I mean, if you guys can tell me, can you guys pick out which is the fake Zaku 2 from these two?
Only because I know.
Wow, yeah. No cheating. Um, so I mean, they're pretty solid,
Yeah,
especially, and I think you talked about it, is like if you're the type of person that likes to customize.
yeah, they're made like that, and I've even noticed if they're the bootlegs, they're even worse. But I think some of the, yeah, because I will say when I was working, because remember I bought one of them, the Southern Cross ones, but I
Yeah,
never built. I started it, even though the plastic on the Black Dragon is a little rougher, it's still better than a bootleg version. It's almost like because this can be officially made, you know, I guess if that makes sense.
yeah. Well, and I think someone brought it up in chat, is like not all third parties the same. Bootlegs are typically cheaper, but genuine third party kits are always more expensive. Like the Monument Repair, which was really popular this year, the Tall Geese
Oh yeah,
knockoff.
yeah,
That one I think is what, 190, and I think they're about to drop the Monument Repair Flugel type, which is like the Tall Geese 3 but with the Wing Zero feather pack.
right.
I'm sure that's going to be like 200, 210. So it's like, you really do, if you get a bootleg kit, that's one thing, but if you get like a what's the word I'm looking for? Um
Yeah, I don't know
an
other than like
original
a
kit.
non-Bandai
Yeah.
model kit. Yeah, and that's what's interesting because it seems like, and what I've learned from that is Bandai just makes really friendly, user-friendly runners at the end of the day, which you almost feel like then you expect it. But I really think that's just what makes Bandai kind of stand out when it comes to their model kits. You know,
Yeah.
they're at the end of the day, they are good quality when you put them together. Um, but yeah, so I think I asked you and I forgot what you said. Are you gonna try to pick up a entry grade wing?
I would like to, for sure. I haven't seen one
Okay.
out in the wild yet, but if I do.
Because again, I need to build the one you sent me, the no grade.
Yeah,
It
you
would be
definitely do.
cool to have them side by side building them. I don't know, because just the concept of them both. Like the concept of the no grade at the time was just more of, well, here's just the kit. You know, it's like this is what we could do. And then with an entry grade, it's almost like how can they make something as cheap as possible, but still be fun and good enough, you know? So
There's a Japanese builder that I'm following on YouTube that is doing a whole series taking the no grade Devil Gundam kit. So like the old like 1998 Devil Gundam kit. And what he's done is he actually bought like a dollar store action figure and ripped the joints out of it and like articulated this 1990s Devil Gundam kit
Oh,
and did a whole
wow.
bunch of cool stuff with it. So I definitely recommend checking that out. I wish I knew the name of the channel, but I can't pronounce it for sure.
Oh,
um, but no, to your point, is like I love vintage kits, and
yeah.
I would love to see what your how you feel about a vintage wing kit.
I know. I love the boxes. That's for sure. The box art. But okay, yeah, so getting near the end here, next week is Christmas here in the United States and elsewhere. But
Also,
in terms of holidays, you know, like we're going to be off, I think you're going to be traveling. So there might be some stuff, there might not be. So just maybe don't expect us to stream, but then you never know, something might pop up depending on like on Christmas Day. If I'm just sitting around not doing anything, I might just stream. But so then that means stay tuned for the week after when we do the A Year in Gundam, which Kyle's going to join us, even though I haven't even reached out to him about it yet. But I need to. I think
simply new type. If you're in chat, surprise, you've
no,
been
yeah,
voluntold.
I know, and that's why I had to say it live so that I know I have to remember, because
Manifested.
I'm always reminded of his ways when I see his tweets, because you got me onto the retweets, and it's just the funniest stuff.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
so
No, and what a way to kick off the new year. We might even let me know if you're down for this. Is like, should we do like a later stream on New Year's Eve? Because
yeah.
my show will be New Year's Eve, your show will be New Year's Day. Do we
Hmm,
just like make it stream into the
interesting.
new year?
That okay, let's think about that and talk about that, because that's a pretty cool
Let
idea.
us know in chat if you guys would like
Yeah.
that. If you guys would show up, or if you guys are gonna like go out and
Oh,
have
that's
champagne
true.
and stuff like that.
That's
If you guys are gonna go do your thing, you know, we'll do normal time shows. But if you don't have anything to do New Year's Eve, then stay with us, and you know,
yeah, that
we'll be your New Year's kiss.
okay. I don't know, but okay, maybe. I mean, I don't have an OnlyFans, but so I don't know. What kind of joke is that? But yeah, so again, next week you might not see us. The week after, there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff going on. Thanks everyone for joining. Check the links in the description. One's for that Otaku box thing. You can click on that, get some cards. But the other is for the Year in Gundam, so you can fill in stuff you liked of Gundam this year. So all heading out. It was a fun one. Guys, see you. We'll talk later.